just laughed. It's like people who don't think that's funny, like, really? You're going to say kids. Anyway, the boat rides have been here, but the fact that we have the Riverwalk was only created in 2015. It's not that old. It was designed by a woman-owned architectural firm, which is a big deal. And the woman who owns it, Ross Barney, is the firm. The owner actually just won a Lifetime Achievement Award for architecture at NeoCon. Very, very big deal. On the right-hand side of the boat, this is the second tallest building in the city of Chicago, the Trump International Hotel and Towers. So the river started getting cleaned up in 2000. 2015, they put in the Riverwalk, as I said, but they didn't finish it. They started putting it in 2015. This building, when they built it, was built by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill. The lead architect is a man named Adrian Smith. And Adrian Smith is from Chicago, who's particularly loved here because he's one of our own. They were smart. They built the building all the way down to the riverfront to take advantage of the water and all the recreation and all the activity down here. It's the only building that was built all the way down. You see the undulating glass? That pays tribute to the river. They actually have a dog park built into those walkways. It's like little gathering areas and walkways. Very cool building. As it goes up and the building gets skinnier, every one of those height bricks is not an accident. They match the heights of architecturally interesting buildings next to them. One is the Wrigley Building on the east, and on the west right here we have the American Medical Association building with the Langland Hotel in the lower floors. One of the heights of the Trump Tower is the same height as this building. This building represents the international style of architecture, and it was designed by an architect. If you could keep it down just a little bit, it'll pick up on the mic eventually, and named Bertram Goldberg. And Bertram Goldberg said, "You're putting straight lines in all these buildings? I don't get it." He built these very organic-looking buildings, Marina City. According to a very intellectual resource that we can all trust completely, Instagram, these are the most photographed buildings in Chicago. Now it's interesting, I have a rare story because I grew up downtown. Marina City was built to entice the city. And Marina City to me is really the first mixed-use buildings in the city. Previous to this, all buildings were either business or residential. Marina City was the first building to merge the two, and hugely successful. But they really are icons of Chicago. On the right-hand side, where RPM Seafood and Pizza Portofino are, these terraces were only added 2 years ago, and look how once again they've added terraces to take advantage of the riverbank. This is the Reed Murdoch Center. It's from 1914, and the building was built by a man named George Nimmons. It was a Monarch Food Company's warehouse building. Now it's the corporate headquarters of the government. Well, they use river water from the bottom of the river. And there's a free thing every night in the summer starting at 8:30. It is the Art on the Mark. This show, this animation on this building, was done by the students of the Art Institute of Chicago. Hello up there. Now these guys were quiet before. I would say those are a bunch of drunken trade show people. Anyway, the Merchandise Mart was the biggest building in the world until the Pentagon was built. It was originally Marshall Field's warehouse. It was designed by Graham Anderson Folkestone White, and it is an Art Deco building from the 20s. Now it is the second biggest by square footage now that the Pentagon is here. So Marshall Field used to own this building, and it was fixed. Therefore, this piece of land, there was only 40 feet to build on. It is about the width of this boat, and look at the building that is there. It's a 56-story building perched on nothing. The way they do it is this. They cantilever the building out over obstructions, and then on the top of the building is something called a tube damper system. It's over 100 buildings. There's 4 of them, Gateway 1, Gateway 2, Gateway 3, Gateway 4. They are designed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill. You keep hearing me mention their name. In international style, they look like the Mies van der Rohe building and the American Medical Association building. This type of building is very easy to overlook because it looks like just a big box, but the box is brilliant. It actually is designed to vent train fumes. It also controls the sound and the vibrations of the on the right-hand side of the boat. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange, trading floors in the middle, flanked by 2 towers. Now the 2 towers, they had a problem. Around the 11th floor, they noticed that instead of going up straight, the 2 towers were starting to form a V. They were moving away from each other. So they didn't know what to do. Well, they finally figured out that what they could do to solve it was they took the floor plan and left it the same as it had been, but every floor after 11 is moved toward the middle. an eighth of a degree on people's heads. Often this is, I don't know if you can see this actually in the description. On the right-hand side of the boat, you see a building with a dome on top, not the one that's lit up, but this one that's sort of in the dark is another boat building. Take your car and your children and your kids who are up to the floor. Keep your car with you. What they were going to do is they were going to build a perfect sculpture of a building. So they went to Italy and they got the most beautiful marble in the world. It's Carrara marble that Michelangelo used for all of his sculptures. They brought all this marble here. They brought so much and they actually created they brought the marble here, they covered that huge building, only to find out in less than 10 years that the weather was too much of the marble. It all started falling off the building. They had to take it all down and replace it with granite from South Carolina. $81 million for that change. They have some less expensive rooms, but I have no idea. Above so the hotel takes up from the lowest tower down to the ground, and above it are luxury condominiums. So I've looked up condominium prices. I will not be fighting you for these condos, but if anybody wants to buy a condo here, I will personally go and get my real estate license so I can sell one. Someone's phone. Is that a phone? On the right-hand side of the road, there's an empty lot. This is supposed to be the site of the Chicago Spire, which is going to be the tallest building in the world. It's topping off at 2,000 feet. You see how it's not there? What happened was in 2008, when it was supposed to be built, we had a big recession. So we ran out of money, and the building never happened. Now all kinds of buildings have been planned. The building on the right is part of the University of Chicago. It's the University of Chicago Business School. It is called the Bleacher Center. The University of Chicago produced more Nobel laureates in economics than any other school.